Okay, so this is the drone. You have the blades, and they need to go on a specific direction. So just make sure that you look at the sticker right here. If it says clockwise, then make sure that the blade is on, so that way whenever you spin the blade, it's like scooping the air. Kind of see how it's like scooping it as it travels that direction and then pushes it down. And then same, it always goes like clockwise, counterclockwise, clockwise, counterclockwise, all the way around. So yeah, that's the blades. For the drone itself, you have the battery here, and I can show you how to charge that in a minute. But all you have to do to really turn it on is just, plug it in. And it does its thing. You should not do what I just did. Never really turn it on without having the remote on. Let me get the remote. Here's the remote. You always want to have this on first because this is what arms the drone. And if you have some settings wrong on the drone, then basically, like, let's say there's a setting that'll say like at what throttle position the drone will be armed. And if that value is close to 0 and it doesn't, and the remote's off, then it's at 0 and then the drone will be armed, basically, right? So you always want to turn it on first. It's okay because I know what the settings are, but just for safety, do that. Then you can plug it in. Do this thing. So there's this little arming setup. The lights will blink. That means it's initializing. Once it stops blinking, it'll blink yellow. Then it initializes to blue. So the yellow was GPS lock, but I think it fully hasn't gotten GPS lock yet. That's why this is not green. And if you come around here, you see this flashing light. That's the arm button. So you hold that button down, it turns solid, and now the drone's armed. So if I were to move the sticks downward to the center, and hold it there for a couple seconds, the drone would be armed and the motors would start spinning. And then you could actually take off and all that stuff. So, yep, and then to disarm, you just also hold the button down until it starts flashing, and now it's disarmed. So, yep, that's that. Unplug this. As far as the landing gear, we can talk about how to configure that, but it's one of the channel inputs. I don't remember what I had it to. I think it's... Yeah, you can press menu and page to go through the different modes. And I have mode at channel 6, which is SE. So if you look at SE here, this changes the flight mode. So we can go over flight modes too, but there's acro, stabilize, and guided. I think those are the different ones. And so acro is it'll, I don't think it's acro. I think it's stabilize is the main one. Stabilize is manual control, but it uses algorithms to make sure the drone stays level with the horizon. And then there's guided mode, which is the computer it's connected to. You let it control how to fly the drone. And then you have the return to home. So wherever the drone took off from, it'll save a recording GPS location of that. And it'll return to that spot.
So in this scenario where the threshold is low, you didn't know, you turn the drone on without checking.
Yeah.
So it arms automatically. Is there then, since there's no remote connected to it, is there then a chance that the drone takes off on its own? Or
so then the throttle value would still be 0, so it probably wouldn't do more than arm. But then now the drone is when I say arm, the motor starts spinning. So you don't want to be near the drone while the motors are spinning.
Right.
But also one other nice thing about it is that fail-safe button I was talking about. Even if the this is off and it does try to arm itself, it'll notice that the arm button is not armed, and it won't fully arm. But it's just a safety thing. You always want the remote to have power and be turned on before you turn the drone on. Maybe that's convention. I think over time it's gotten more and more safe, but that's just what people do.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I think that's it for the main body of the drone. We can talk about some of the software now, I think, and maybe some of the peripherals. The Mavlink connector, you plug this into your computer, and this is essentially plugging a USB cable from the drone into your computer, more or less, is kind of like the connection it gets. It's essentially the same thing like a COM port. So you can send COM port commands wirelessly to the drone. So this is how you do like autonomous flight control. This is your battery charger. You want to, since this is a LiPo battery, I think it's a 6S battery, you multiply the voltage of, I forget one cell, I think it's like 1.2 volts, and you multiply that by 6, and then it gives you like, well, I don't know, I don't remember the exact number, but you should look up what 1S equals the voltage of that, multiply it by 6, and then that tells you how much charge the battery should have. So if we plug it in, and then, so this is just like the main charger, and then this is the balanced charger. So you have to plug both in. The balanced charger makes sure that each cell of the 6S cell, each one gets like the correct amount of charge. So then you see that currently it's at 22.2 volts. You just click start, hold it down, and it starts charging. So then it's at 23.8 volts. And actually, I think for this battery, I think you want to go to 26. I don't remember. Maybe it's 25. But you can just look it up. It's just like, what should the nominal charge of a 6S battery be? And it'll tell you the number. Yeah, and just make sure it's on LiPo setting. Balanced charge. The amperage doesn't really matter. Like 1.4 is pretty okay. And yeah, that's basically it. And then when you unplug it, it'll yell at you, tell you like battery breakdown. And that's how you charge these guys. So that's the battery charging. Yeah, I guess we can look at software now.
All right.
Let's steal this now. So you just plug it in like a regular USB. So I use Q ground control for the software. And we have to, so I'll just turn on the drone real quick. You don't have to move. I'll just turn it on and I'll come back.
Stabilize flight mode.
So you notice that the link came on. The do is the ESCs, which are the electronic speed controllers for the motors. And we can look at analyze tools.
So does this, does the MAV connection come with the drone?
No, we had to buy this separate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So then how do you get that configured so that it's paired to the drone?
So it comes with the, I can show you, you'd have to come into this one. That mapping controller, it comes with a pair. That's what this other one is.
Gotcha.
So you just plug it in. This wire connects just directly to this, and then it goes up into the main PCB of the drone.
I see.
So yeah, and then that eventually that wire connects directly to the flight controller. So I had some simple flight plan here set up from last time, and you can see it's pretty basic. But so right now we're not getting any satellites because we're not outside. So it actually, if you try to arm it, I think it'll error. So yeah, you can, to do like a flight plan, you can click flight plan, and then you can set up your flight plan and whatever you want it to kind of do. This is the launch site, so this is where it'll take off from, and then it goes through in order. So there's launch 2, 3, 4, and then return to this. This is the return on, I don't remember, it's like return on error or something, or interrupt. So essentially, if like the flight controller loses connection to either like the computer or to the radio, then it'll just return to this spot. And you can set this anywhere. It's kind of orthogonal to the whole thing. So wherever you think is a good place to set it. Like I said, this is the launch site, so this is where it'll take off from and come back home to.
How exact do you have to be with like your launch site?
It doesn't matter really. Like you can put it anywhere, like wherever you want to launch from,
Yeah. So like when you set the launch site in Q ground control and then you go out into the field, like how?
Oh,
yeah.
so right. So like, let's say you actually took off from here.
Uh-huh.
It'll just fly here, and then it'll start the mission.
Okay.
So
I see.
it'll know. I think it's more like return to home is really what this is.
I see.
But yeah, I see what you're saying. So once you've changed this config, you have to click upload, and then this will upload to the drone, as you see that, and it is transmitting, and now that file is stored onto the drone itself. You can do some of these custom things, right? Like a survey. So I don't remember how to do this one. A waypoint. Just, click a bunch, and it'll make some kind of crazy thing. And yeah, you can like add midpoint nodes. What you just kind of build up whatever you want the drone to do, and then you save it. So
Can I also change like the desired altitude or?
yeah.
Okay.
So let's go over that. So say take off here, and then we're going down a waypoint here, and here. Okay. Oh, and then this is the altitude down here. So you can click on this node, and then you can say how high you want it to go. So like, let's say like 1,000. Then that one went way up here, and then it'll come way down.
Okay.
But I think you can go low. You can do 1 meter actually.
Okay.
So that is good to know.
So if I wanted it to hover in place, how would I do that?
So you wouldn't actually probably want to upload a flight plan. You would just tell it to take off, and let me see if I can do this. Vehicle config, flight modes. So you remember earlier I was saying that there's different flight modes that, and I can even show you this stuff. You can stay there, hold on.
Okay.
So this I set it up so that we SE. Whenever I change that,
Position hold flight mode.
it changes the mode,
Auto flight
and you
mode.
can see that it goes from 1, 4 to 6, and that's just
Stabilize
because
flight
this is
mode.
a 3-position switch. It only has 3 positions that it can take, right? So stabilize is the one I just said. So you would just go to stabilize, and this is the kind of manual control that you could think of. If you want throttle, you go up. So think of like the drone like this, right? It has some propellers that go up, and then center of mass. So the throttle that just controls this axis, right? The height. Then you have this angle here. This is yaw. So this is like your angle around that z-axis. Then you have this controller here, and this changes the XY plane.
I see.
So that's how you move it around. So what was I saying though about the? What was your question about it?
I think the flight modes.
Okay, yeah. So yeah. Oh, right. So that stabilize it. This is the manual control you could think of. Let's say you want position hold.
Position hold flight mode.
So you switch to the middle
Pre-earned.
section.
Need position estimate.
Yeah, so it's telling you like it doesn't have position estimate because there's no GPS lock. And in this one, this is what you wanted. This is like it'll just hold its position right wherever it's at. If wind is blowing on it, it'll like lean into the wind to like make sure it can't move and stuff like this. And then auto
Auto flight mode.
is the mission plan you just set out.
Gotcha.
So those are the different modes.
Stabilize flight mode.
If you have errors, you click this little red thing and it tells you like why it couldn't do certain things. So it couldn't arm because it didn't have GPS position, need position estimate, right? And if you don't understand like what a certain error is for, you can Google it. There's really good documentation. So let's do like flight modes, for example. Flight modes, Q, ground control. This kind of tells you, oh look, they even have the same radio. Some of the different setups. So yeah, just like I was saying, usually it's like a list. I think it's quadricopter flight. Yeah, here we go. So this is a full breakdown of all the different flight modes. So you can see you have what were we doing? Auto. Oops. Position hold. So you go to position hold, like loiter, but manual roll and pitch when sticks are not centered. So if you look at loiter, holds altitude and position, uses GPS for movements. So it, altitude is how high it is, and position is like XY. So it locks on, XYZ, and it tries not to move at all. And then you can have the manual XYZ control with the right stick. So that's why I use position hold for that. So yeah, that's what you would probably want.
Okay. Yeah.
To do your tests. So the middle one is probably the best one for you.
Position hold flight mode. Stabilize flight mode.
Yeah, that's kind of pretty much it. You have some other like auto tune mode. This is like how you automatically calibrate your PID stuff. We need to do this at some point, but I forget exactly how to do this. You should watch some YouTube videos and like also read the documentation I just was showing. And it tells you exactly how to do it. I just, I haven't done it in a while, so. But yeah, it's very well documented. Trying to think of what else. Like sensors. So like if you've noticed that the drone's behaving weird, you can calibrate its sensors. There's accelerometer, compass level, gyro pressure, compass motor, I think it is, and the sensors. So accelerometer's obvious, and you just click this, and it'll like walk you through how to calibrate it. It's pretty simple. This is like the radio, so if you have issues, you can just prove that the drone really is picking up your inputs by using this menu.
Yeah.
And what else? You just leave the frame alone. It's always going to be quadricopter. It's kind of like an overview of everything. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Perfect.
Try to get it as low as you can, and then control it so that way you can do your actual test. No, yeah, this is totally gonna work.
Yeah, it's a pretty good height for reading, right?
Yep.
Like 3 meters?
Yeah, looks like it. And you can move it around, XY. Nice. Get used to that yaw control too. Yeah, there you go. Oh, it's kind of acting weird. That's interesting. Yeah, there you go. See how that works?
It's reversed.
Is it?
Yeah, so if I turn this way, it'll turn. Oh, wait, I lied. Okay. I guess I lied. Yeah.
All right, yeah, cool. Go ahead and land it and call that a success. Awesome, dude, you're a pro.